Hey everybody, this is CMake setup for Raylib. The idea of this video is to show you how we can install Raylib with CMake and CMake fetch content specifically. The reason I use fetch content for a lot of my videos is if you're a beginner, right? If you're coming from the Python world or from the JavaScript world, in the Python world you've got pip, and in the Node world you've got npm, you've got npm as your package manager. You can just say npm install or npm I, and that gets the job done. But in the C or C++ world, it's a bit different. Now you've got VC package these days, you've got Conan, then you've got the system level ways to install packages. Then if you're on Windows, it's slightly different. But FetchCon kind of seems like a much easier way to kind of install libraries, and that is what we'll be focusing today. So let me just open my terminal. I have an empty directory here, and this is where I'll be doing the work. So We'll be doing this in two different ways. So we'll do this with a single CMake file, and then kind of refactor it if you are working with a much bigger project. So let me just open Vim, and I'll create a CMake file, cmakelist.txt, and I'll start from there. And I'll also need a main.cpp file for my source code, and I have that here. So let's close that and let's start. So I'm going to say CMake minimum required. So that's the CMake's minimum syntax you're going to have to do. Version, let's say 3.5. And we need the project variable there. So we need project, let's say my app. And let's include the fetch content module. So let's say fetch content. And the next thing you do is I'm going to say fetch content, create a declaration. And I'm going to say Raylib is the module I'm looking for. Where do I fetch it from? I'm going to fetch it from Git repository. And the tag is going to be git tag, right? And where do I get the Git repository from? I will go to GitHub Raylib. I will open that, copy the HTTPS URL, kind of paste there. And for the Git tag, feel free to use anyone. We've got master as the default branch, so I'm going to use master there, master branch. And the third line is fetch content make available. So instructing into I want to use that module. So I'm going to say fetch content make available of Raylib. And there you go. Now we have a main.cpp file that's executable. So I'm going to say add executable of, let's say, app, and main.cpp is the entry point. I need to compile this. So I'm going to say I need to compile my Raylib with my executable. I'm going to say target link libraries. So I've got, let's say, my app and let's say private and say Raylib. And there's one more thing I like to do, which is put all the binaries inside the build/bin directory. So I can say set and variables. I'm going to say CMake runtime output directory to the CMake binary dir. So that's the build directory, and /bin, right? So that's where I like my binaries build. So if you're just okay with inside the build directory, feel free to keep it the same. I think we have done. So we need a main.cpp like sample application. So if you look in the GitHub, there's a very basic example. I'll just copy that, paste that there, and we will create the build directory. So I'm going to say mkdir build cd space build and cmake space dot dot. It's going to pull Raylib from GitHub and kind of do the necessary steps for us to use Raylib in our project. So that's done. So I'm going to create the executable now with say make and minus. You can just say make, or you can say minus j and give the number of processors. I've got 16, but I'll just say minus j8. And it will build our application. There you go. So if we look inside the bin directory, we have the app executable. I'm going to say ./app, and there we have our Raylib application. So if you're not familiar with C++ package managers, CMake fetch content is the easiest way to go with this, right? All you have is one CMake list.txt file. hit cmake space dot dot from the build directory, hit type make, and there you go, right? You've got Raylib. Now you can just start coding with Raylib, or if you're a student learning Raylib, here you go. I feel like this is the easiest way to do this. And that's it. Thank you for watching.